Hey everyone, welcome back to Unbox Unveil. Now let me ask you this. Are you someone planning to build a PC for video editing and some casual gaming, but you're also on a tight budget? Well, that's exactly the situation I was in. I personally do most of my editing on Filmora, and I'm planning to shift to DaVinci Resolve soon. So I needed a setup that can handle at least 1080p editing smoothly, and also let me enjoy some games on the side without breaking the bank. That's why I carefully picked out the right components for this build, parts that balance performance and affordability. In today's video, I'm going to unbox everything, explain why I chose each component, and then we'll set it all up step by step. So let's get started with the components I selected for my build. For the CPU, I went with the Intel Core i5-14400F. Now, if you're a PC enthusiast, you probably know that the F means this processor doesn't have integrated graphics. Since I'm pairing it with a dedicated GPU, I don't need built-in graphics anyway, which also saves me some money. i5-14400F comes with 10 cores and 16 threads, 6 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores, running at up to 4.7 GHz boost clock. That makes it a really strong choice for 1080p video editing and smooth multitasking, while still being affordable compared to higher-end CPUs. So for my needs, editing in Filmora and moving towards DaVinci Resolve, this CPU gives me the right balance of power and value. And the best part? It cost me 13,100 rupees while making this video. For the motherboard, I chose the Gigabyte H610. It's a compact micro ATX board, but it comes with everything I need for this build. It supports the latest Intel 12th, 13th, and even 14th gen CPUs. And since it's DDR5 compatible, I can take advantage of faster and more efficient RAM. It also includes an M.2 slot for NVMe SSD. And the price? It cost me 7,000 rupees while making this video. For memory, I chose the Corsair Vengeance DDR5 16GB RAM. DDR5 is faster and more efficient than DDR4, which means smoother multitasking and better performance in editing and gaming. This stick cost me 4,500 rupees while making this video. For the graphics card, I went with the ASUS RTX 3050. This is an excellent entry-level GPU in NVIDIA's RTX lineup, and it's perfect for my needs. With 6 GB of DDR6 memory, it handles 1080p gaming smoothly and also supports features like ray tracing and DLSS, which really improve performance in supported games. On the editing side, DaVinci Resolve and other video software take advantage of the CUDA cores and NVMe encoder, making rendering and playback much faster compared to relying on just the CPU. Overall, it gives me the right mix of gaming fun and editing support without going over budget. And this card cost me 16,000 rupees while making this video. And now for storage, I chose the Samsung 990 Pro 2TB SSD. It's blazing fast, which means quicker boot times and smooth video editing. This SSD cost me 16,000 rupees while making this video. For cooling, I chose the Cooler Master Liquid 120L core. It's a 120mm AIO liquid cooler designed to keep the CPU running cool, even under heavy workloads like video rendering or long gaming sessions. And it cost me 4,000 rupees while making this video. For power, I'm using the Corsair CV450 power supply. You can buy it for 3,000 rupees. For the case, I went with the Zebronics Zeb Apex Edge. It's a stylish cabinet with 3 120mm ARGB fans. And this cabinet cost me 3,000 rupees while making this video. Now that you've seen all the components that make up this build, it's time for the most exciting part, the grand unboxing. Let's open each box one by one and take a closer look at what's inside. Let's start the unboxing with the Gigabyte H610 DDR5 motherboard, the backbone of this entire build. Opening the box, right on top, we have the motherboard itself, safely wrapped in an anti-static bag. Along with that, we also get the user manual, I/O shield, A cables for storage devices. Taking a closer look, this is a micro ATX board, compact in size, but packed with all the essentials. It supports Intel 12th, 13th, and 14th gen processors, runs on DDR5 memory, and has an M.2 slot for high-speed NVMe SSDs. It also comes with Smart Fan 6 technology to help keep things cool and stable. Next up, the brain of this build, the Intel Core i5-14400F. Opening the box, we get the processor itself, carefully packed in a plastic casing along with the stock Intel cooler. This CPU is part of Intel's 14th generation lineup. It comes with 10 cores and 16 threads, with a max turbo frequency of around 4.7 GHz. Next, we have the Corsair Vengeance DDR5 16GB RAM. Inside the box, it's simple, just the stick itself, securely packed. DDR5 brings faster speeds and better efficiency compared to DDR4, which means smoother multitasking and improved editing performance. Now comes one of the most exciting parts of the build, the graphics card. Here I have the ASUS RTX 3050. Let's unbox it. Opening the box, right on top, we have the star of the show, the GPU itself, neatly wrapped in protective packaging, and underneath, some paperwork and guides. This model comes with 6 GB of DDR6 memory, which makes it ideal for 1080p gaming, and also helps a lot in GPU-accelerated video editing. Since I use Filmora and plan to shift to DaVinci Resolve, the 3050 gives me the right balance of performance and budget. It's built on NVIDIA's Ampere architecture, with support for ray tracing and DLSS, which means I can enjoy more realistic visuals in games while still keeping performance smooth. ASUS has also given it a dual-fan cooling design that ensures efficient airflow and keeps the card running cool and quiet, even under load. And with its compact size, it fits perfectly in my mid-tower case without any clearance issues. So overall, while it's not the most powerful RTX card out there, it's the perfect choice for a budget-friendly build focused on editing and casual gaming. As I like to take extra care of my CPU, I decided to ditch the stock cooler and go with an AIO. Here we have the Cooler Master Liquid 120L core. Inside, we get the 120mm radiator, cooling fan, pump, thermal paste, and mounting hardware for Intel and AMD separately. You must check use socket number before buying it. This AIO is compact but reliable, giving me better cooling performance and keeping the CPU temps under control during long editing or gaming sessions. And now, let's check out the cabinet, the Zebronics ZEB Apex Edge, the home for all my components. Taking it out of the box, the first thing you notice is the tempered glass side panel, which gives a premium look and lets you show off the internal components with all the RGB lighting. At the front, we already get 3 pre-installed 120mm ARGB fans, and at the back, there's another 120mm ARGB exhaust fan. That's 4 fans included out of the box, which means great airflow without me having to spend extra. On top, there's a magnetic dust filter for easy cleaning, and at the bottom, there's another dust filter for the PSU. The PSU sits in a bottom shroud, which helps keep the build neat and improves airflow. Connectivity-wise, it comes with a USB 3.0 port, 2 USB 2.0 ports, and audio jacks on the top panel. The build quality is solid for its price, with a heavy-duty structure that feels sturdy. Overall, this cabinet combines good looks, efficient cooling, and budget-friendly pricing, making it a great choice for a build like this. Now comes the most satisfying part, putting all the components together. We'll start with the CPU installation. Gently lift the socket latch on the motherboard, place the Intel i5-14400F in alignment with the golden arrow, and lock it in place. Simple and secure. Next, let's install the RAM. Just open the slot latches and firmly press in the Corsair Vengeance DDR5 stick until it clicks. And that's the memory ready. Since NVMe SSDs can get pretty hot under heavy use, I decided to install a heatsink on my Samsung 990 Pro for extra cooling. The process is simple. First, I attach the thermal pad on top of the SSD to ensure proper heat transfer. Then I place the aluminum heatsink over it and secure it tightly with the clips. This helps keep the SSD temperature lower, which means more consistent performance and better durability in the long run. Installing an AIO can feel a bit complex, so make sure you read the instructions carefully if you're doing it for the first time. Inside the box, you'll find two separate brackets, one for Intel and one for AMD. Since I'm using an Intel CPU, I'm going with the Intel bracket. Place it on the back side of the motherboard, then push the long screws through from the front. That's how the mounting bracket is secured. Now, while holding the bracket firmly at the back of the motherboard, place the 4 screws one by one from the front to secure it in place.
Next, install the 2 pump brackets onto the pump and secure them using the 4 small screws from underneath. After that, apply the thermal paste on the CPU, remove the protective sticker from the base of the pump, and carefully place it over the CPU. Tighten the 4 screws evenly to lock it in place. Finally, connect the pump's power cable to the appropriate socket on the motherboard. Now it's finally time to put everything inside the cabinet. Let's begin with the PSU. It's a simple step. Just place the SMPs inside the shroud at the bottom, align it properly, and secure it with screws from the back of the cabinet. And that's it. The power supply is in place. Next, it's time to install the motherboard. But before placing it inside, don't forget to install the I/O shield at the back of the cabinet. Once that's in place, carefully lower the motherboard onto the standoffs, align it with the I/O shield and screw holes, and then secure it with the screws. Now it's time to install the radiator, along with its fan. It's always advisable to mount the radiator at the top of the cabinet for better airflow and cooling. Once secured, don't forget to connect the radiator fan to the power header on the motherboard so it runs properly. We've come a long way, from picking each component to carefully assembling them. And now, it's finally time for the moment we've all been waiting for, the very first boot. Let's power it up and see this build come to life. From parts to a fully working PC, this has been such an exciting journey. With this build, I now have the perfect balance of performance for editing and gaming without breaking the bank. I can comfortably edit videos on Filmora and DaVinci Resolve and still enjoy some casual gaming on the side. Remember, building the right PC isn't about spending the most money. It is about choosing the right components that fit your needs and budget. I hope this video gave you some clarity and inspiration for your own build. If you enjoyed watching and want to see more unboxings, setups, and tech content, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Unbox Unveil for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.